everybody. Raul here for Bass Musician Magazine, and today we have the extraordinary honor and pleasure of this special treat, none other than Suzi Quatro, talking to us just before the release of a brand new album, Face to Face, that she's done with KT Tunstall. And so excited to talk about this album. It drops August 11, 2023, in case people are seeing this years from now. Tell us about this album. Very excited, Suzi.
Yeah, we're very excited. It was unexpected, obviously. We were fans of each other, and neither one of us knew it. And then I saw her on my rough cut of my documentary, Suzi Q. There she was, and I went, oh. So I didn't know she was a fan. So a friend of ours who did the footage for the video of Shine a Light, which is fantastic, he said she'll rearrange a meeting. And she called me and invited me to her studio in London, where she was recording. We had a little lunch. We got along great. She asked me to do a song with her, write a song with her, so we did it remotely on the internet. Then I wrote one and sent it to her. We did it remotely, and then we both went, wait a minute, there's something going on. You could feel it. And I said, come to the house. She came over, stayed overnight for about 3 or 4 nights, and it was like an express train of creation. It just flew into the wind. It was unbelievable.
Wow. Well, and musically, I've had the great pleasure of previewing this before anybody else. That's one of the lucky things that I get to do. And there's so many layers that we could address. Like the tonal qualities of your voices together.
That's the first thing. You know what? I got to stop you there, because everybody is saying that. And I was with KT yesterday at Breakfast Television, BBC Breakfast Television, and I said, tell me the truth. While we were writing and recording, did you get it that our voices were blending? She said, no, I didn't even think about it. Neither did I. It's not in our heads. We were making and writing it out. I wasn't going, oh, listen to the voice. I didn't get it. And everybody is saying it.
Well, and more often than not, that kind of blend, I'll hear it in siblings. People that have kind of that genetic link there. But vocally, again, amazing blend, delicious. The bass work is extraordinarily melodic, but the guitar work, and nobody's over the top on each other. So it's this weaving, this tapestry. And even though both of you have a strong rock background, there's a delightful variety of feels, whether it's kind of countryish here, kind of folkish here. And I myself get lost in the music. And this is, again, my blessing and my curse, because I tune into the runs you're doing on the bass. I'm catching the chords she's doing. I'm picking up on B3 Hammond behind here, some piano work, running some scales in the background. Obviously, you guys brought together a great support group of musicians, but the key spotlight is the two of you together. And then, of course, these are 10 original songs that you guys have together. And then, as if the music alone wasn't exciting enough, the general feeling, there is this message of, kind of all of these different things. Tell us about the motivation behind the message in your music.
Well, it was, we were talking about this just yesterday. We dove in. And each song that appeared, and it appeared after a discussion, we found a routine. We would sit on the carpet in my front room, barefoot, with all our stuff spread around us, and we'd start to talk. I'll just take you through the first one, okay? So the first song we wrote together, because the two remote ones were Overload and Good Kinda Hot. Okay, they were the remote that I sent and she sent back. Then she came, so we're sitting on the carpet. And first time sitting there, we don't know each other that well, and we start. And she said, this is an example of how the whole album went. She said, what's the best lesson you learned from your childhood? I said, oh, that's easy. Came right away. I said, I was at a pajama party. I was about 10 or 11. And we were all, you stay up and you gossip and smoke when you're not supposed to. And, nobody goes to sleep. And I said to all the girls there, I said, hey, I've got a great idea for a game we can play. And I think we should play the truth game. And we'll each of us tell something to the next person. And it should be interesting and informative. And it got ugly.
Oh.
So I said, wow, truth is a weapon. She said, it can be. but it's the weapon we choose. I said, yes, it is. And there came the song. So then we were writing it. So that discussion lasted about 45 minutes. Then we're writing it and we're putting it down on her little tape recorder. And my son, who produced the album, he happened to be in the kitchen. He just happened to be over at that moment. And he came running from the kitchen. It's a long out, running into the front room. And he said, what is that? And we said, it's the first song we wrote. He went, oh my God. There you have the thrust of the album. So I don't know what it is that we have together.
Mm-hmm.
I just know that we spark off each other, which you can see in the video for both videos. We're both opinionated. We're both very artistic. We're both difficult. We're both uncompromising. We're both feisty, and we're both very vulnerable.
Well, and one of the things that, again, to me, it comes across a very earthy, reflective philosophy kind of life, but also with a maturity that, again, but with combine the two lifetimes that you have brought together, but that commonality, it is something that anybody can relate to. And this is why it also, I think it speaks to anybody and everybody. And, of course, as a man, as I listen to it, this isn't just a woman's record. These are universal truths that, as you've mentioned, truth, there it is. And it just shines.
These are universal truths. I'm not quite sure how we got there, other than we both had the honesty and the truth of what we were saying in the fronts of our minds. If we're going to do something, let's do it. And we took each subject that meant something to us and we explored it. And I think the main thing is we allowed ourselves to be emotionally naked with each other. And this is what you're hearing in that album. We have gone the distance. We haven't held back. A couple times, maybe I did it or maybe she did it. Oh, I'm not sure. Should we? I said, yes, we're going to write this because you don't want to write it. That's why we're going to write it. Maybe I did the same thing. So we explored the avenues of all the journeys that we all take. And we all take them. It's got nothing to do with male or female.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Shine a Light, one of my favorites, and we'll get to Face in a minute, which is my favorite track, my favorite song on the album. But Shine a Light, what a message that has. On every level, to start off with, opportunity knocked on my door, I chose to let it in. As opposed to, I never got any chances. You know what I'm saying? It's important. And like she says, you don't let people who don't support you into their life. You just, you don't. So shine a light on me or let me be. What a message that is. It uplifts people, this song.
Absolutely.
It's a real anthem. And Face to Face, just quickly go there because it's on my mind now. We had the title. I had that title. I said, this is the title. And she said, why? I said, because when we're writing, you were like this, we're in each other's face. So she said, okay. And then we got to the end of our writing. And I said, KT, we have to write this track now because this is the title. She said, okay. What should we do? I said, right. Let's write it about us. And she went, yes. So if you want to explain to anybody what's your relationship, it's all in that song.
Wow.
It's amazing. I get like this when I even talk about it, and we just don't know how it happened. We were talking on Skype just before the album was hitting the press and all that. And I'm sitting just like this, and she's in California. And I said, hey, KT, how did this happen? And she went, I don't know. It's one of those things. It was meant to be because it wouldn't have been like this, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
We're supposed to write this album. I believe everything happens for a reason. You don't know why, but it does. And you have your path. You got your map since the day you're born. And here's another song coming. And you might go left or right, but in the end, you're going there because that's your path.
Absolutely. Well, the end result is a magnificent album with 10 tracks, and people have definitely, this is a must-hear kind of album. It releases August 11th. If people want to find it, best place to look, probably SuziQuatro.com.
Yeah, and or KT's got her website, so I think you can pre-order it now on Amazon. It's all the normal outlets, all the normal things that you get your Everything but record stores,
Absolutely. Well, and I'm sure many of our readers are going, hey, but aren't you going to talk about anything else? And just as a tease, Suzi and I are going to have more for you. Stay tuned. But for now, Face to Face, coming to a streaming venue, wherever you get your music, coming near you. Thank you, Suzi, for taking time. Folks, you've seen her here. Suzi Quatro on Bass Musician Magazine.
Thank you.